afternoon, everyone, and on behalf of your two grooms, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you all, whether you've come from Glasgow, Torquay, Azerbaijan, or even downtown Motherwell. Welcome to Airth Castle, as we celebrate Scott and Chrissy's marriage today. The reason that you are here is because you are the most important people in Chris and Scott's lives, and you have loved them, supported them, and helped them to become the two very special people who stand before you here today. My name is Jennifer Buchan, and I'm a celebrant with the Humanist Society Scotland. Scott and Chris chose to be married in a humanist ceremony as they feel that the rational and caring philosophy of humanism reflects their own beliefs of respecting each other, other people, and the world in which we all live. Chris and Scott are two people who live their lives in this way, and whatever your own personal beliefs, I hope you'll find their marriage ceremony sincere and meaningful. Because you were driving me a wee bit mental. It's an enormous privilege to be part of a couple's marriage ceremony, because when two people are so in love, you cannot help but share their excitement and the happiness that they bring to you. With that in mind, I would like to ask Roy to come forward and share with us all a reading about marriage by Wilfred Allen Peterson. Well, there's tons of arrived before you. Well, see wherever you can see. There you go, just stand here.
Yeah, I never chose this. It's a bit lucky, but backstage and back lens on. It's called The Art of Marriage. In the art of marriage, the little things are actually the important things. Like never being too old to hold hands. It's remembering to say I love you at least once a day. It's never going to sleep angry and having a mutual sense of values. It's standing together and facing the world, forming a circle of love that gathers in your whole family life. It's appreciating one another. It's making time for one another. And it's a common search for the good in the beautiful. It's about being best friends, and not only marrying the right partner, but being the right partner. So Scott and Chris, you found the right partner. Now you can practice that.
Thank you, Roy. It's also a pleasure. No, is it? You're a wee symbol. It's also a pleasure to be able to write a marriage ceremony. And I would like to share just some of Scott and Chrissy's highly edited story with you now. Well, it was the 9th of November 2013 when Scott went for a night out with Stacey to see an amazing singer at the Zerbian. Scott thought this was incredibly random, as the two of them just usually went to Wetherspoons. It was not in fact random, as the whole evening was a set-up. Stacey knew the singer. She knew that he was single, and that he batted for the same team. Well, as for Sunil Opal Extennis View. And his name was Chris. During the evening, Chris noticed that Scott could not take his eyes off him. And he spent most of the night talking to Stacey about him. Later, Stacey may have had a few too many cocktails. So she left Scott in Chrissy's capable hands, as she very much required her bed. Chris and Scott headed off to Charlie's. One laws. As you do. Their first proper date was the following week, and they went for dinner at Chiquito's, which was a bit of a stretch for Scott, as he's the world's fussiest eater. To be honest, after that night, it was a bit of a done deal. The connection was there. All work stopped in the bank, as Scott just talked about this amazing boy, and trying to explain to his friend Sam that Chris was a barman, singer, circus worker, trapeze actor, and fire eater. Which, to be honest, is just showing off. Within 3 weeks, Chris announced to Scott, whilst they were watching Love Actually, that he actually loved him. Before Scott could even reply, Chris demanded a taxi home because he was cringing so much. And all through this, Scott knew that he loved Chris right back. So then they were sort of inseparable, living between Tracy and Neil's and Caroline's house, watching Netflix and scoffing copious amounts of crisps and dip. Scott and Chris bought a house and they had a stunning holiday in Egypt, and they had a Paris trip booked for December 2014. Now, I'm not saying that Chris dropped big hints. But he did mention that Paris was so romantic and that lots of people get engaged there. And he pointed out the ring that he liked in Beaver Brooks's window. Aye, so, on the 13th of December, on the balcony of Disneyland Castle in Disneyland Paris, Scott got down on one knee and he asked Chris to marry him. They had been round the castle about 20 times that day, but the previous 19 times Scott got so nervous he just couldn't get the words out. So, as we're all here, we can only surmise that he said yes. Chris told me, I cannot wait to marry Scott. He completes me and he makes me the happiest man alive. And Scott told me, I cannot wait to marry my best friend. So, these two best friends who stand before you now are from strong, loving families, and they have a wide circle of good and loyal friends. You have all watched their relationship grow, and Scott and Chris would now like you to witness as they commit to each other in marriage. Marriage joins two people who know the love they have already found, and who trust the love that will unfold throughout their future together. Within their marriage, Chris and Scott shall be equals, and they will grow as individuals, being true to themselves and to each other. They will support one another with understanding, with respect, and most of all, with love. Now, before Scott and Chris make their vows to one another, I would like to invite Diane to come forward and share with you all some beautiful words about what it means to be in love from the Amber Spyglass by Philip Pullman.
I will love you forever, whatever happens, till I die and after I die, and when I find my way out of the land of the dead, I will drift about forever, all my atoms, till I find you again. I'll be looking for you with every moment, every single moment, and when we do find each other again, we will cling together so tight that nothing and no one will ever tear us apart. Every atom of me and every atom of you. We live in birds and flowers, and dragonflies and pine trees, and in clouds. And in those little specks of light you see floating in the sunbeams. And when they use their atoms to make new lives, they won't just be able to take one, they'll have to take two. One of you and one of me will be joined so tight.
Thank you so much, Diane. Scott and Chris have chosen to exchange their vows in the traditional manner of hand fasting, and they'll be tying their joined hands as a way of confirming their union. Hand fasting is an ancient Celtic marriage ritual, and it's where the expression tying the knot actually comes from. first note is for Chris, is love for Scott. And the second note is for Scott's love for Chris. These notes symbolise the strength of your love and your commitment to one another. Scott and Chris, today on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other forever, you are holding the hands of your best friend. These are the hands that will work alongside yours as you build your future. These are the hands that will passionately love you and cherish you throughout the years. These are the hands that will give you strength and support when you need it. And as your hands are joined together now, may your hearts always be. The best men are the rings ready. Are you sure? No. The wedding ring is a circle. It's a symbol of wholeness, strength, cooperation and peace. It's an embrace that can surround you and caress you, and it's a support that can inspire you without limit. Sean, can I have Scott's ring? Chris, can you place Scott's ring on the finger? I know, but you just wiggle it a bit. That's enough now.
That's an instruction on me.
Would you like to read your vows?
You've made me the happiest person in the world. This day forth, I promise to always stand up for the love that we share. I truly believe in, no matter what we face in life. I promise to be faithful to you always, and to share with you the good times and the bad, to uncompromised love. I promise to always be at your side, loving you for not only what you have made of me, but for what you have made of yourself. I promise to love you as unconditionally as I do today for the rest of our lives. You are beautiful and have the biggest heart I have ever seen. Never let that change. I love you.
My best friend, my lobster, I love you. Today I give you a shrine and worship. And with that I give myself my heart and a promise. I promise to always carry your heart in mind. To be without you would be like Mickey without Minnie. Timon without Pumbaa and Leo without Stitch. You can beat me. As soon as I saw you, I knew an adventure was going to happen. I promise to love you to infinity and beyond. We will love like Hakuna Matata. Because you're my pure necessity, and I can't wait to share a whole new world with you.
Well, that was original. Chris and Scott, you have bound yourselves together by these vows, and the bond is made by your love for one another. It is a bond that ties but does not bind. It is one that is sealed by your love, and by the love that we here all have for you as individuals and as a couple. This handclasp symbolises that together you are stronger than you are individually. So may the bond between you never come undone. Through the joys or sorrows that you may face together, and may you always walk through life hand in hand, mind with mind, and heart to heart. my presence and in the presence of your witnesses, your family and your friends, I have much pleasure in declaring you married and pronouncing you husband and husband. You may kiss. It's now time for Scott and Chris to sign the marriage schedule. And they've chosen two very special people to sign alongside them as their witnesses. The marriage schedule is not only a legal document. As soon as it is signed in Scotland, it also becomes a historical document. And because of that, Chris and Scott are very much like their witnesses to be their brothers, Sean and David. And whilst they take a few moments to complete the paperwork, please relax and enjoy a song especially chosen for this wish to honour their mothers by presenting a white rose to Caroline and Tracy, because Scott and Chris would like you both to know that they truly appreciate everything that you have ever done for them, and would like to thank you for your patience, kindness and your unconditional love.
You get to buy me a drink.
But really, did you just say that? Right, we're nearly done. Shush. We have now reached the end of the formal wedding ceremony. And before we adjourn to raise a glass to this happy couple, I would now like to bring the ceremony to a close by sharing with Scott and Chris, on your behalf, a marriage blessing. May your intention and your commitment to each other remain strong, and may the foundation of your relationship be love and the best interests of each other. Walk gently through the world together and know its wonders for all the days of your lives. Go forward in your life together with the good wishes of all those who love you. Remember this day, those who came to wish you well, the words you have spoken, the emotions you feel, and the love you have declared. And Chris and Scott, above all, be happy. So, all that remains is for me to ask you to welcome this groom and groom back down the aisle. Please be upstanding and put your hands together as I present for the very first time, Mr. and Mr. Johnston Klein.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Don't just stand together with your glasses. Can you go outside? Just some of you might go out. Just get another wee one and you just
Yay!